Hey friends, welcome to the Keys to Success podcast. I am your host, Nally Brett Daggerhart, and I am an intuitive business coach, master communicator, leader, energy worker, essential oils expert, and a lover of chai tea lattes. When I'm not coaching clients or managing projects, you can find me in the mountains of North Carolina, exploring, hiking, and having a good time with my family. I believe that we are the master creators of our life. I believe our triggers and struggles are a catalyst for the growth that our soul is meant to experience. I believe you can have an amazing level of impact and receive great wealth without hustling 40+ hours a week. I believe we are capable of creating a life and business by our design once we gain clarity on our personal definition of success. This podcast is a place where I start breaking down the keys to success as I see it. And I plan to get a little more personal here than on any other platform. I'll share about my journey as a parent who balances both personal life and a job and a business. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to share this space with you and give you a deeper glimpse into my life, my challenges, and what I'm creating both for myself and the community around me. Thanks for listening. Now let's begin. Welcome back to the Keys to Success podcast, and welcome to season 2. So let's reflect on what I discussed during the first season, and then I will share with you my plans for season 2. In season 1, I shared all about the basic keys to success, and I covered my top 10 pillars that I see as the foundation for redefining success or creating your own version. If you are tired of living someone else's version of success, or you're looking for tips on getting started, season 1 is a great place to binge or a great place to start. Now, season 2 is going to take a deeper dive into, what you go through when you're finding success. I will be sharing more of how our personal growth changes us, where we tend to hold ourselves back during this growth, and how to move past the internal resistance so you can take those next steps forward. So this season will be more about the experiences that you have while you're growing. I guess some people might call this the growing pains. In today's episode, I'm going to start off with one major area or theme that I see most people experience at some point in their personal growth. And you'll see this theme, it will go across the board in your life. So you'll experience this in your home, your personal life, business, work, and also relationships. And this theme is how we handle our responsibility energy. Responsibility energy is simply the amount of our energy and focus that we give to others. And it's expected that we give some, right? Like our family needs help. We must give at our job. We must give to clients. If you own a business, giving of energy to others isn't a bad thing. It's completely normal, even expected. Oftentimes what happens though is we tend to overgive of our energy, our time, and our space to others. And when we do this, the balance of the energy exchange is off in one direction or the other. And a lot of times this presents itself as feeling mentally tapped out or physically drained. But it doesn't have to be that way. I'm here to tell you there is a way forward where you can put boundaries around your energy. So first, let's kind of break it down. Why do we do this? Why do we give so much of our energy to others and sometimes giving way more than they even expect us to give? Well, we over-deliver because we feel we need something from the external. Typically we're seeking something from others that we lack inside. Let me give you just a few examples to help you download this. So we might over-deliver because we feel we have to prove ourselves. This happens a lot in our careers, especially with women. So, what I see is we feel we have to be number one, we have to be the first to respond to all work emails, and we in this constant comparison mode with others at our place or in our profession, and we soon assume that everything is our responsibility. So we don't stay in our lane. We also overgive when we feel we aren't worthy of receiving. So sometimes we feel that we must give 110% on every activity, every project. Even if 80% is good enough for someone else that we work with, we have to give 110. So we feel that we don't meet the same level as everybody else, and so we give and we give and we give. In the entrepreneur world, or if you're a small biz owner, this would apply to you too. What I see here is we might over deliver to clients or give like a lot of free work or advice away. This is something that I personally do a lot of, and I do think it's important and nourishing to give to others, but I also think it's important to have boundaries in this area. So on the surface, giving of your free time and guidance to others, based around your craft or your business, this on the surface looks like being generous, compassionate, all those things. But deep down on some level, we do this because we're hoping for acceptance or validation in our business. Now, in all of these examples, the overgiving piece is just the superficial layer. The real work is the underneath reason for giving so much of your energy to others. We can do this a lot of times because we are seeking confirmation from external. We're looking for validation that our work is good, confirmation that we are successful, that we are needed, and that we are accepted. So there's always an underneath layer, folks. If you're with me long enough, I will break this down for you in as many ways as possible. What you always see on the superficial layer, so the baseline, trigger, reaction, whatever, is not the real issue. So things gained externally will never be fulfilling. So any external validation, any external acceptance, confirmation, it might be fulfilling for, a couple of days, but long term, it's not going to fulfill you the way you desire. And that is because you aren't doing the inner work to get there. So what it is it's like putting a Band-Aid on the issue, but not actually repairing the damage underneath. The true issue is that you may not feel secure or confident in what you're doing. So you really must address that first and start pulling your energy back to you. Now, if you're new to me, something I love doing is giving you an activity. And a lot of times it ends up being journaling. And the reason why I love journaling is because there's something powerful when you put pen to paper, because a lot of your subconscious thoughts start to rise to the surface when you do that, because you're focused, right? You don't have as many distractions, you're focused on your writing. And so more of your thoughts come to the front of your mind. Another reason I like suggesting this is because everybody can journal. Everybody has access to a piece of paper and a pen. It's not like you need to hire a healer or an energy worker. You can do this today. So that is why a lot of the activities that I have in these podcasts are going to be things that you like, tangible items that you can grab in your everyday life and put to practice. Okay, so let me get back to the activity. The next time you feel that you are overgiving, I want you to journal on what's going on. So just write down the basic steps or the situation, just get it all on paper. And then what I want you to do is review what you've put down about the situation. And I want you to start asking yourself the question why, really. So, why? Just continue to dig deeper until a personal theme comes up. Because at the first, when you start asking yourself why, it's going to be about a person, a situation, an event, all external things. But if you keep digging deeper, you're going to hit on something that's personal, something that's internal, and something that you are dealing with or having conflict with. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say you are at a job and you feel you always have to do all the work in a project. Even though there's multiple team members, it's always you. So ask yourself why. And keep doing this until you get to something that's not based on the external. Is it because you always volunteer? Is it because you feel no one else can do it better? Like, keep asking why until you get to the root of the situation. Because, in this example, thinking no one else can do it better might be accurate. You might be amazing, but is it actually your responsibility to be, like the person with the finger on the dam? Ask yourself what you actually are getting out of this experience personally, because it's not just the doing the good job, right? It's not just because you can do a job, so of course you should do it because it's going to be amazing. Like, yes, on the surface level, but what are you receiving out of that you crave, that you need? Are you seeking approval? Are you looking for validation that you are as good as you think you are? Are you looking for the recognition? What is it? A lot of times, it's one of those themes, and it's also our ego at play as well. So our ego always wants to be number one, wants to be the person with all the answers, the first to the finish line, saying, hey, look at me. But once you receive all of that confirmation internally from yourself, you won't need to wave your hand. You won't need to say, hey, look at me, because your presence will be felt anyway by those around you. Your energy will start saying all that you've ever desired to say or have someone say to you. But by the time you reach this point, you will not care. You will not care what other people think. Will not care what other people say, because you feel fulfilled internally. Like, you believe in yourself, you trust in yourself, you have amazing confidence in yourself and commitment to yourself. So you won't need that fulfilled externally. And there is nothing more magnetic than leaning into that energy. All right, so I am going to leave it here for now. I do have more to say on this topic at a later date, but for now, I want you to, take a moment to look at the areas of your life where you are mentally or physically drained and do some reflecting. Why are you giving away so much energy? And go through that journaling to dig deeper to see why you allow this to happen. I say this to my coaching and my life and biz coaching clients all the time. Awareness is key. Figuring out awareness as to why you do things is a majority of the inner work, because once you are aware of it, you will start seeing the patterns show up in your everyday life, and you will start to make tiny little adjustments here and there so that they don't continue to cycle. All right. That's all for today, friends. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If this resonated with you, feel free to share this podcast with your friends, your biz besties, and your family. And also, feel free to take a screenshot of this podcast, share it on social media, and tag me in your posts. I always enjoy seeing which episodes resonate with you the most.